out of the D104. I mean, the D104 is okay. I just have to get up on it, you know, and keep an eye on the audio a little bit more when I use the compressor and stuff. It's just that. It's just a little bit more evenly balanced out. It's running about 280 watts or so carrier here this morning. KK4GZQ. W2SDR in southern New Jersey. In the group.
Beautiful transmission, Frank. W2SDR with K2FNY from KK4GZQ. And you know what? I've heard quite a few FT101Es or double E's generally. I haven't heard too many EXs in there lately. But same beast, you know. And Frank, I've been threatening to pull the. I've got a set of and you've heard me say a million times. It's an FR and an FL101, separate transmitters and receiver. And I like the receiver a lot. I just couldn't get the audio on my first attempt soft enough to be able to run it here on AM. We're just not getting really good reports on the audio.
So I need to go back and revisit that. It's a shame. I spent what I did on it and got it here and did a little few days of testing with it. Charlie, it ended up on the back shelf there in the back room, and that's where it's been since. And needs some run time. You know what I'm talking about, Charlie? Yeah, the popsicle stick, the stir sticks with the JB Weld. Yeah, gotta have that, man. And a little Cool Whip container, an old used plastic Cool Whip container to keep it down inside there, and something you can definitely throw away, Charlie. Absolutely don't get it on you. That's about like that. There's some stuff that we used in tile work. I can't remember what it was, Charlie, but it's the same way. Shane told me the first time I ever got around, he looked at me eyeball and looked at me and made sure he got my attention. He said, "Do not get it on you." Well, I did, and I learned. And K2FNY, KK4GZQ in the group.
KK4GZQ, K2FNY. Yeah, that spray foam, that crazy foam you used to insulate fill cracks with. As far as I know, there's not any solvent for that stuff. And they used to put a pair of plastic gloves in the top of the cap for the can. But I always, I buy packs of these. They're not surgical gloves, but they're sort of like a surgical glove. From the Harbor Freight. Boy, they're the handiest thing. You put them on your hands and you have to wrap and stuff on you. But that foam, as far as I know, there's not a common solvent for it. You don't want to get it on you at all. So I always use those gloves. In fact, I use those gloves when we go to the deer woods. If we ever have to dress a deer, they're just mighty handy. You just peel them off and your hands are clean. And Frank, I tell you what, deer are colorblind as far as I know, but they do pick up on motion. So that tape, if it's waving in the wind, it may. They can't read very well. I know that. They don't. The caution tape. It's got caution on it. They probably won't read it very well, but the deer up there where you are a little bigger than the ones here. I noticed that when I was stationed in Maryland at Aberdeen Proving Grounds. There were a lot of deer there on the proving grounds, and the bucks are pretty good sized animals. So we don't have any problem with them here. We have a doe that gives birth behind our house here. There's about a 12-acre piece of property that hosts to doe deer. And she'll come up in the yard once in a while and eat flowers off of our lilies. but she doesn't damage anything else. But she's not really particularly afraid of you either. She walks around. I've had her come up while we were working in the yard and lay down in the lawn across the creek from me and sit there and watch us work on the flower beds for a couple of hours. So anyway, Frank, the only other way to solve the problem is to get your hunting license and get a shotgun out there and start putting some deer in the freezer. And that's a mess. It's a lot of work. So that's not really a viable solution. Let's get that other mic, that's the D104. Right, the one you're on sounded good. But you're asking the wrong person for an audio report. But I'll try to do my best. W2SDR, K4GZQ.
K4FNY. W2SDR. Yeah, I had this sitting on the shelf there with a label on it, FP101. So, yeah, that's what this mic is. And, no amplifier or anything. I modified the input of this radio years ago to take a high impedance mic. It uses an FET in the front end, the audio, and I changed the gate resistor, which was a 47K to a 4.7 meg, and got the impedance real high, so that's what I'm using here with this D104. In the monitor, may not be. Let's see what you guys think. We're talking to this thing. I've had so many D104s around here that I've used with different radios over the years, and different heads, different cartridges. So it's very unfortunate that the Static stopped making these, or at least stopped making the parts. Because in my opinion, the guys have put other elements in these microphones, but none of them are as good as the original Static elements, in my opinion. And they were an amazing microphone. They probably belong in the Smithsonian. You know, they put things in the Smithsonian Institute, inventions and this and that. I mean, really, it's an astounding mic in the history of these microphones for decades. So, little diatribe there. You know what I've used? There's a couple of things that I've used. If you don't let that stuff set, that foam, if you get it on your hand, acetone or nail polish remover is pretty good. And then also, if it's dry on your hands, I've heard of people actually getting one of those pumice stones, and grinding it down till it gets, kind of smooth with your hand, so you don't have a big hunk of it there. Then Vaseline, and leave Vaseline on your hands for about an hour or two, like put a pair of gloves on, and keep the Vaseline there to soften it up. So that's what I recall reading, somebody telling me years ago, because, boy, you're right, that stuff is nasty, man. You get that stuff, I always use gloves. I have a box of those nitro gloves that I'll put on with any of that stuff, so I don't get it on my hand like that. I use those gloves now when I work on the car and stuff, so I don't have to deal with the grease and KK4GZQ. KK4GZQ.